Hello, dear World of Warcraft friends. Here are some cool changes for patch 12.1. Because Blizzard has now announced in a blog post that activities from the current World of Warcraft Midnight expansion will also remain relevant for patch 12.1, that means if you enjoyed the ritual sites, Val and Nagtal, you can also play this content in patch 12.1 to get some loot. We'll take a look at what that's all about in this video. And I'd say, let's get started right away. If you like, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for the 37,700. We're heading straight for 38,000. I'd really appreciate it. And yes, a lot of it has to do with this merchant here, Marin Silberschwinger. Right now, she's selling, among other things, a bag of field commendations. And this field commendation, which you can get from ritual sites, from Val and Nighttal and so on, you can then exchange for equipment, either a specific slot on HC for 259. You can buy champion gear for your alts, or you can take random slots and buy the whole thing for 500 badges. And in the past, it was always like this. As soon as a new patch came out, the old content became irrelevant. That's why I think this change is really good. Just as an example, let's take a look at the War Within. We had all the zones at the beginning: Isle of Dawn, the Ringing Deeps, Azje Karhet, Hallowfall. Then the Lorenhall patch came out. With it, new quests, new currencies, and so on and so forth. And yeah, all the quests and events from the old areas became useless because of that. Blizzard has never adjusted the rewards. And also not the currency or currencies you get there. That means you could still farm transmog or, for example, reputation. But for your current character, it was more or less a waste of time if you kept doing that content. And that's changing now with patch 12.1.1. Marin Silberschwinger will sell better gear in the future. Of course, it's not heroic yet, just adventurer track gear, but it's better than nothing. We can see that right here. In the future, you can buy a chest with item level 279 for 500 badges. It's random, and for 750 you get a specific slot. I strongly assume that the item level will then increase with 12.1 and 12.17. The vendor will further increase it, so that by the end of patch 12.1, you'll probably be getting heroic items again. Honestly, in the end, for me and my character, it's completely irrelevant because I don't need this. But for me, it's just about the principle. In theory, that means the content isn't completely useless anymore, so if you want to gear up alts and enjoyed ritual sites, you can still do that and get Season 2 gear that way. Indirectly. And it's the same with Val and Nighttal. Here too, Blizzard is increasing the rewards retroactively. All in all, it remains the best source for field commendations. However, no more heroic crests drop here now. For now, at least. Maybe that will be increased again. Anyone who is in the heroic world tier will receive adventurer crests in the future. So you can also upgrade the gear you buy there. The warband bound items also only have the adventurer track now and drop at 275. And ultimately, when you kill the weekly world boss, you also get adventurer gear. Also veteran crests. On the PTR, the tooltip currently still says mythic, but it's probably veteran crests. So for the heroic world boss, there are slightly better rewards. Again, for someone who dives into Mythic Plus and the raid and other activities, it's absolutely irrelevant, but you can still farm field commendations, which you can apparently continue to spend on gear throughout the whole patch, and you can upgrade that gear. And in the end, if Blizzard continues down this path, it could even be that in patch 12.2, for example, we have all the zones from the original patch, the Coiled Isle, the new areas, or the new area from 12.2, and you can do activities however you like and get your gear that way. Exchange it. Like I said, it's a small thing and maybe not relevant for many who are better equipped, but I think it's cool because in the past it was always like this. Yeah, a new patch came, and with that, unless you still wanted reputation or mats or something, the old areas were completely abandoned. Now they've softened that a bit. And in the end, Blizzard also expanded this to the ritual sites. They also give you adjusted rewards in the new patch. Again, field commendations. The whole thing also counts for the weekly vault again, but not anymore. So right now, you can get 269 with it if you complete the ritual sites at level 6. In the future, they will scale like delves on levels 1 to 6 when it comes to the weekly vault reward. And here too, you get veteran crests from the individual runs, and that leaves only the Void Assaults at the end. So these Void Assaults, which regularly take place here in the Evernight Forest and in Suleiman, and it's the same there. You can still complete the achievements related to this as usual. You can also continue to collect field commendations through it. And those things will drop the new adventurer crests in the future. Yeah, it's not a big deal, and it's probably the content that's the least worthwhile of all. But nonetheless, you can go in there and earn a few extra rewards for the current season. Whether it's worth it or not is another question, but like I said, I assume that when 12.1 comes, maybe instead of adventurer crests, there'll be veteran crests, and later, with 12.1, maybe there'll be champion crests or something like that, and through Heroic Wall and Nathiel, you'll get hero crests again. It's definitely possible that Blizzard will do that. If they do, I personally would find it very, very cool. Then everyone can just play the content they liked best, and the old content won't be devalued right away. That's why it's a good decision. I think it's really, really nice. And yeah, let's see how they handle it in the future, and maybe they'll even expand it a bit more. Let's wait and see. Feel free to write your opinion about it in the comments, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care.